Let me make sure it's here. Okay, so
it's working. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry?
you have to each other or you did that time?
I think they already started last week. So let's just go ahead. Yeah. What's the content?
Good morning. Delay, setting up slides, and my name is Tony. I am here later, so we don't have some discussion. And this session, I think I told some of you the answer. So I'm gonna do this with the review I did, and we'll continue to go over the rest topic. And the question is about the research. So the user, the began, the research, and the master and so you know what is research and the history and what is the qualification and the requirement for your research. And why do you do research? Why do you decide to So let's think about this. What is research? And we'll discuss more about this. And at least, not all of them, but at least two requirements. The research should be novel, new, and easy. That means not only if you do it applied when deep in some other universities, other research, or other countries, if you did it, then it's not your research. It's just a topic. Right? You have to find new knowledge and something new. So the meaning of the otherwise not on that. And this is so even if you can solve very complicated equations, nobody has solved it before. Even if you solve it, but if nobody is interested in your equation solution, then it's not a especially this engineering. The different from this science, the engineering should be really different. Then we have to connect to this our community and in this field. Like a mechanical engineering, it should be to that the product mechanical engineering field, science. And with the school observation, that means if you write your dissertation and it should go to public, that means all people in the world, if they have internet access, then they can read your dissertation. Then after reading your dissertation, then it should be good and they can give it back. In science, this emphasis on discovering the new paradigm. So they don't have to worry about this. There is practical or is useful. You know, this is Euler or Euler. Have you heard of the name Euler? The name is made 100 years ago, and he made some new theorems, right? Geometry. At the time, he didn't think about this practical, the actual use of this equation, actual imagery. You know what is Euler's identity? Have you seen this identity today? You see? Why? You are in engineering. But he made this tool 300 years ago. At the time, he didn't need what is the height, very custom or the scale of the wire. But he made it. That is time. For engineering, so you should be the size for the real world and new technology. So what is the current problem? That is the fossil fuel, the pollution. So the many engineers in the world, they are working on system of combustion of energy to reduce the pollution and increase the purity. That's the real world. So what happens if I develop this new combustion method or do new energy? That means I can say it's global warming, I can reduce, and I can reduce the pollution. There's a benefit to everybody. Even if you don't know what is the research about, then you can get the benefit from this research. Are you with me? Or like a suspension. So you have already a car. Then you see the suspension, the old car and the new car, and you see the difference in the technical comfort. The new suspension with the spring and the subwoofer, you buy the luxury car like a Rolls Royce or Benz or BMW, you can feel the more comfort than the old car. That means by applying the mechanical engineering knowledge or private knowledge during the equation or documented activities, then you can get more technical comfort. So we are conducting research on this technology. Have you seen the car in the trailer? The Chevy Bolt? That is the car that I know. And you want to get this autonomous vehicle, then what do we do for you? If you buy this autonomous vehicle, then you can use the newspaper, or you can do something else while it's doing from this phone, right? Who are developing this new concept car? Engineers, especially the engineers getting the other and okay. Can you see the difference between the science and engineering field? The meaning of research? Yep. And let's see one by one. I said the research should be new and then news and regional and daily and have you seen these other guide presentations of papers? And some papers begin with a new method to solve whatever, and some novel algorithm to something. Then what does it mean? New. New, a novel, and original thing is engineering and academia. It means has nothing possible in the journal, campus proceeding, or book. And I love to graduate, especially for the next time, because I get to graduate, you have to push your there's a method. Otherwise, the particular will not sign on this. You have to say the word. That means, before starting, you have some idea of research. Then you have to do the research of it. And you have to see what has been done so far and why is also problem. To make sure that you research. You spend here at least 4 years, 2 years as a master. And after 4 years, it comes out this research already has been done by some years ago. That means you have to travel Good morning. That is why your advisor typically asks you to be prepared for the and what is the significance? The significance means there is a high impact and important and useful. So that is a huge benefit to people in the world. From what the attack and safety. And I brought my example from my education. I my safety was 11 years ago, and I worked on the civilian power. So let's talk about this in my power. This is the example. So if you take the shower in the compound, then in the morning you take a shower. Then you turn on the hot water, and then you check the temperature. And if it is still cold, then you have to turn it off. Then check the temperature again. And if it's too hot, then you turn it on. Then check again and adjust. So if you graph, you're familiar with the graph, and if you graph the temperature over time, then from this very cold and go off and overshoot and undershoot and rocket and that means it takes some time to get this desired temperature. And what's the problem? If you turn this on the hot water for a long time, there is a waste of water. We have to save some water. The water dust is keeping it and it's a waste of electricity. And it's a waste of your time. Then it would be good if you reduce this time for the adjustment temperature. Is it good? The benefit? So in this way, the time delay is comes from your action of the warm up and your value temperature. Warm up is the actuation and the measuring is the sensing. That's like if you can reduce it, then the work can benefit and you can get benefit because you are the deal that is low. And now we go to the problem. There is many areas engineering and biology. And anybody who's from biology and bioengineering, 1, 2, 3, and you are familiar with the spray FedEx model and the bus already. Are you familiar with that? Then if then if is ready, number goes up, that means part is already is good. Right. That means there are already means the part. So going up. So they have if the number of part is going up, that means is already is a bad news. And the number of already will be down. If is goes down, then it is the bad news for parts. Then the number of these will go down. Then if part number goes down, then it is good news for the rate. Then it goes up, then 10. So this rate and part, and then the delay. Very small. The same for the immune system. I think you have seen the news about this new virus, the coronavirus 19. The immune system, what is the plague? What is plague? Is the virus. What is the predator for your immune system? white blood cell. We have white blood cell in body. Then there is the immune system can be modeled. And anyway, to understand it, you have to know how to do it. And same for this chemistry, the action, and economies, and the stock market, and the demand and supply. If there are some demands, then if you are a businessman, then you want to make the product. That's by the demand. But to make a new product, then you have to build a new factory and you have to hire. Then it will take some time to make a new product after seeing the new demand. You see what I'm saying? So you can say this is the demand. Demand is go upward. And the supply actually there's a delay because of the time for building factories and setting up the production line and hiring people. The demand go down, then these factories will start the production for the reduce profit. So in the same way, if the economic problems can be modeled into the problem. So if we solve these small and understand phenomena, then we can get more money from these economic problems and we get some new research. So I have worked on this problem in manufacturing, and my friend in my lab worked on this problem in France. And I got a job here, and my friend got a job in New York, Goldman Sachs, vice president, making much more money. But I'm happy. So I found this problem, and I found it challenging because it's not job. And so when it is stable, unstable, and how can it stabilize? Even in these the pictures, it shows the tenacity. It means the doctor is in New York and the patient is in LA, and it's very urgent situation. There's no time for the doctor to go to the LA to do surgery. Then, if we have this surgery operation, then we don't have the doctor doesn't have to go to the LA. Using this internet or some other network, then he can operate surgery. But the speed of the light is not infinite, it's finite. You know that. You know what the speed of the light? You know that, right? Even if we ignore this computational or mathematical process time because of the speed of light, then there is always a delay in the transmitting of the factors to the patient area. And if this machine feels something inside his patient's body, like bone or some other material, then the feeling is transmitted back to the bilateral movement. There's another delay. If these systems will delay the unstable, then what will happen? This machine will be out of control. That means it's going to be very bad for the patient. If you can solve this delay or instability problem, then it's going to be bad to the patient and to the doctor and the hospital and the insurance company. So your idea, engineering idea, can give benefit to make. Are you with me? But so far, I solved just a part of the problem, but so far there's more general solution for this problem. Maybe we can you can do that and make more money and make the operation life. Again, for this, you know how to solve the water differential equation. You know, you remember, you pass the calculus, you pass the introduction to differential equation. But if we have a delay inside it, then there's no potential still problem. I did Very small part, but it's good. But significant is there something. So for the same result, you can say it is a trivial, it's nothing. And this guy may say it's very significant and substantial outcome. Right? But so your audience or the participation, who is the audience of your participation? Who are the audience? Your main advisor and the community member, and typically the participation is open public. You can bring your, you think you can bring your parents to your event. What do you think? Can you bring your parents? Yes, you can do. It's open to public, anybody. Anybody can do. But I'm sure that your defense to your communities and your advisor there are a lot of tough questions. And if you make a very small mistake on the slide, then they will ask the same question over and over. You don't want to show that it's your parents, right? Maybe you can bring your kid. Anyway, they will decide. They will decide. They will research the thing. Or you can then you have to invest. You have to claim your research is unique, right? If you don't do that, then nobody will understand. If you don't say that your method is your result is significant, then the audience will not have you. Okay, and you have to show that your method is significant. So one of the best way is by comparing your method to the audience. What are you working on? You're working on this AI, right? Machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning. Then, have you searched the reinforcement learning on the Google Scholar? You know what is Google Scholar? Where is Google Scholar? And if you type this reinforcement learning, the Google Scholar, then within 1 second, it will give you a bunch of new cases. That means you're not alone. Many guys are working on this reinforcement learning, machine learning. Then you have to make sure that by comparing the your method, if you want to do a PhD, if you want to get a PhD here, then you have to compare your method with other. This method, I know you are here, but you cannot solve everything. So your method is not perfect. So, but at least from some point, yes, method should be better than the other. For all the respects, the new method doesn't have to be perfect. But there is no method. So you are not. You see what I'm saying? So you have to compare at this situation, this method is better than other. Also, other method, you don't know that. So there is a limitation. Check pros and cons and the limitation you have to check. Even if your method has some weakness or the problem, doesn't matter. At least some cases. Right? Okay? Discovery. Anyway, discovery. Or this, I think Dr. Narayan will show you how to calculate the effect factor. See the 45 minutes. So you know what is the effect factor? What is that? That is it shows is the journal effect factor. How many other researchers decided papers published in the journal. More citation, that means the research result is significant, it is important, it is useful. Right? So that is on the way. So, what is the famous journal? Can you give the name? Nature? So you are in electrical engineering. Yeah. Science, nature, and cell. There are some papers, but typically mechanical, electrical, or is well you know we are civil, but it's not. But the impact factor is about 40 or 30 or 40, very high. So if you publish your paper in the journal, then you don't have to worry about it. But this will be discussed at the end of the day. And what you can buy I will give you. I gave a seminar, and this audience, there was an editor of the publisher, and I had to write this and with my oh, it shows the comparison. So I did a very good job, and you know, have you heard about the party approximation? No. That is a very old and traditional method to handle the data. I discussed about data problem, right? And arrays and the predictors and so on. So those are the intelligence methods, and in my presentation I compared one by one. Compared to this method, why method is better than this. And but compared to this problem, what is the limitation of the Y method? I would say the Y method is perfect, or the best in the world, what can solve everything. Compare one by one, Y method is the better some point, and the world is wrong. This is my point. In this way, I can prove. First, I can finish my visual. I did. Yes.
So whenever you're working in a field that's not as bad, let's say it's the layman, and you find a hard time finding something variable approaches because you're problem. So working for that. So when do you find how do you have a comparative section in your how would you compare that
How do you get that? For the part approximation, there is approximate. Right?
Did you get the what is the question? Now,
Can you speak up one time?
yeah.
I will bring the mic.
So my question is, if there's not in-depth research in your field, if you're really doing something truly like novel, how do you have a comparative? How do you have a section in your thesis or dissertation where you're looking at approaches that are different than yours?
You see the point? And I'm not going to go into the details. First, the part approximation is the approximation. That means there is always a difference between the actual and the approximation. That means you have to use some factors. My method doesn't use approximation. Very active. So the problem is, part approximation is the approximation is pressure to use the factor. Finite order. That means very easy to handle. You don't have to solve the second or third number equation. Can you solve this second or third number equation? As you learned in the elementary school, middle school. So if you approximate to use this approximation, then you can handle it with like the polynomial and very easy to solve. Like a second or third number equation. But my method is accurate, but it is more complicated. So, That means for this actual implementation, we have to buy some more expensive CPU or GPU, right? So in this way, like, I method is better for the accuracy, but poor in terms of the simplicity and the communication. Because I was very honest. Is my point? You got an answer?
I think so. I think you have to find things that are somewhat common to your approach and try to find some comparison.
Yes, yes. But you should be honest. Don't put this a lot of problems on the road and the iPhone. Okay? Because you just master PhD candidate, so you just beginners and the audience or company knows you just try to do your research. Because the part approximation has used a long time to prove by many researchers and is done by the historians. And compared to me about 11 years ago, then how many views that is oh, this is what I said. So this is a model for HIV. You know what is HIV? You know, and this HIV goes into this the white blood cells and copy the DNA, the RNA information to the DNA of white blood cell. Then these white blood cells reproduce a new HIV. One HIV cell can make 1,000 new HIV. That is a problem. You don't have our immune system. That is why the HIV is very dangerous. But to consider the time for this copy and the reproduce of HIV, the whole system is modeled to simulate transformation. Two was the problem. By solving this, what will be the benefit? There is a medicine or a drug to treat HIV patient. And every morning, then HIV patients should get this a lot of drugs. Because it's a cocktail. Everyone. So what is the problem? If you get this a lot of drugs every day, then drug is not free. The current medicine, especially in the US, it's very expensive. And if you get a lot of medicine, then there's always a side effect. And if you can reduce this, the number of the drugs and the amount of the drugs, then you can save the burden, the financial burden for the patient, and you can do the side effect. That will be very good. And this, of course, can be applied to not increase that it can be applied with either viral disease. Very good. So let me finish this slide, then I think.
Pizza, and there is a you need to participate in
The QR code
yeah.
for now.
So no. After the pizza, so it will be less time.
I think it's 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Let's just do this 4 more minutes, and we'll take a break. Are you hungry? I'm hungry. Let's wrap up today. Then you are researchers, the researchers conduct research as the main part of their professional career. And typically, we say is researchers are gray hair or no hair, they wear coat clothes, and they're thinking all the time, they're talking to themselves, not a friend, and with a principal and like this guy. Do you have this picture? It's from the movie, the picture is very famous. But actually, this is a researcher, the Professor Richard, is a Nobel, got the Nobel Prize. What he played music and know how to draw and bar and married 3 times. I did 1 time. I did a film and scripted and handsome. So what I'm saying is, most researchers or scientists are like us, they're normal, not special. Okay, so let's start here at the slide number 10. I think all the slides I use today will be available on the website. And my office is a 604 of the main there. And if you want to have a discussion with me about research and research and the publications, then you're welcome to stop by. Okay, let's do have a little break and Narayan will.
So obviously the revenue box model is something about marketing research. How do you decide when to venture out into different domains to add to your research? How do you just stuff that you learned over the years, because the former methods are heavily computational, computer science, verification, super mathematics. I don't know all the math. I don't know all the models. I know.
Yeah, you don't have.
Okay, so.
For you are from which department?
We'll have a feedback and then I will go
emphasis in your area, right?
some information for you guys. And then
You don't have to worry about biology. Just for example,
But some
application
we need to participate in the
things like case. So we have to focus on this kind of thing.
so after feedback,
But
we'll
computer
be
science,
done.
you have to focus on this
There's another one.
science because you are in the department.
All right. So we
yeah, but still, I feel like the great discoveries come when we introduce things that are developed in other domains of science.
Okay.
Like I said, right in here, the delay problem and represents how things can be delayed in multiple different domains. And my problem is super, I'll come by your office to have a better, a short show, what I want to do.
Like a computational law.
Yeah, computational law. Yes, sir.
So you don't have to worry about the actual implementation or everything. So focus on your data. Because if I do solve this biology problem, only biology, then I could get mechanical engineering.
Can I have your attention for 1 minute? Did all of you sign this sheet? Anyone who did not? So one other question, do you wait for an email to decide that they're gonna come today? That email I sent out is just an additional information, you all know what it is. So please don't wait for my email. Just plan to come. Okay? Thank
I'll keep his slides. Just for myself. Thank you.
It will end 12:30. Okay, come early then.
The government language, not that much earlier, it's like, wow. You know? Oh, it's cool. From like the new, yeah, just make school systems are better than other countries. Yeah, I don't know language, but I get mad when it's clear that that's not true. It's like, what's up? I can
All right. Good afternoon. This is. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying pizza, but it's the second part of the workshop today. I'm not going to talk about the high level of research thing. I'm going to talk very, very, very basic and obvious things. It's going to help in your research career. Okay. For some of you, I have seen we talked before. If this is first time, my introduction is here. My name is Narayan Bhattarai. I'm an associate professor of biomedical engineering. I do research. That's why I'm a speaker here. And you guys are all researchers. 20 plus years back, I was just like you. Okay, so the comment here or the perspective in the research is it's just my personal opinion, and it's coming from a several years of experience, and it's common in a research area. Okay. At the end, I think Dr. Ram will bring a survey, so you need to stay maybe another 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Okay. Okay, let's begin. So I gave you the handout. It's everyone had the handout? Everybody got? No? Okay, I have more. You got? So I left in the table, so not. Please write your name. First place. So we need to collect this. Yes. Oh. Easy, huh? Okay. All right, let's just start. So this is a thing we will, maybe I will collect your opinion in the later slides. That's why I gave you this. I will collect it in. Okay, so graduate research. Let's start. This is a outline, and read this. These topics there. What do you see? It's very common things, right? Motivation and goals. How do you track your research? How do you manage your time? How do you deal with people, etc. How do you create your research story? How do you write, speak, all these things? Okay, at the end you will write your thesis, dissertation, and defend your research in front of committee, and you will graduate. If you are new in this area, maybe it's more relevant. But if you are here in the research for a couple of years, second year, third year, about to defend your thesis, maybe a little bit less relevant for you, but it's good because these topics we never discuss in classroom, right? Have you ever taken the class to go through these topics? No. Okay, for me, being in a 20 plus years in research, I'm still learning, and it's very relevant now. Okay, so if it's already discussed with you, I think some of you have taken the class last semester. It's just review for you guys. Okay. Okay, so let's start. Okay. So the information is for the researcher. It's not just for the PhD, for masters who are doing research in the area of STEM. It's not necessarily just engineering, okay? For everyone, for every researcher, yeah, okay? Okay, so what is the difference between a researcher and you do a homework assignment in a classroom setup? Because most of the time students confuse in the research setup, because people before doing research, like everyone, me including, we're used to with a very structured question and answer format, right? Teacher give you the information, you have an answer in the textbook, and you solve the problem. And most of the students, they think the research is just like that. Your advisor will give you a problem, advisor will give you a instruction, okay, and you will just follow that and answer the question. Is that going to be research? That's not the research, right? So is your research is more than that, because it's a very unstructured territory, right? Because it's not defined thing in a research. Especially your graduate research is, you are solving a problem. You will solve a problem, and the problem doesn't have answer. In most cases, there is a right, no answer. That's what you're doing research. So it's always open-ended question there. Okay. Okay. So that's why these things is very common, but it's not necessarily common, because that's when you follow these rules, maybe it will help you be successful in a research career. Okay, so let's begin. The very first topic: why do you want to start research? Why do you call yourself a researcher? Why do you want to restart this thing? Okay. So motivation and goal. So how many of you here are freshmen, first year in your graduate school? No matter master or PhD. First year. First semester. First semester. Very few. Okay. Second semester, most. Second year, third year, you're a PhD now. Okay. Who is about to defend the dissertation or thesis? Is there anyone here to defending a thesis? Any PhD? Okay, so this information is relevant. Okay. Very simple question. So you were a researcher. Do you have answer of this? Why are you doing this research? Your research. I'm not asking your specific thing, okay? In general. Do you guys have an answer of this? I'm sure you have. So the sheet I gave you, it's in at the bottom of the first page, that box, at the side. Okay, write down. Because we need your opinion. Okay. Okay. So let's do keyword. Okay, I will ask volunteer to read what is the response. Mechanical engineering. Raise your hand. We did it from the mechanical engineering side. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Okay. Yes, share your opinion. Why do you do your research? Why are you doing your research? You wrote, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you write? Yeah.
The passion for getting higher degrees and like to solve some of them.
Okay. Solve the problem. Okay, the specific problem I don't know. Or if you want to tell the rest of us, right? What you're doing?
Right now I'm trying to I'm working on molecular dynamics, where I'm trying to get a flexible electrons for micro electromechanical systems.
Okay. Next. Good. You hear his response, why you want to do this, why it's doing this research. Okay, that's the one example. So civil architecture area. Is anyone here from civil architecture? Or you don't want to raise your hand because I want. Probably that's the reason, right? Okay. Let's put somebody here volunteer. What did you write in the thing? Yes.
So to develop expertise and formal methods and model verification for any questions about
Do you computer science? Dave, you want to volunteer, read here, what did you like? Take it easy, okay? I just wanted to hear why you were starting this research. Yeah. You got it. And here's the sign. Right, not that. Dave, any specific thing? No? You want to read? What do you want to read?
Yeah, I'm doing my research based on Yale University, and the research is about virtual reality, and I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So I'm just researching.
That's good. Here? Anyone? Go ahead. Oh, yeah. So she's giving an example what I'm talking here. She wants to be a professor. Okay. All right. So good. I think most of your response is. I think it's good. Why do you want to be a researcher? Why you are doing your research? And we didn't want to hear the thing like I'm here in the research area. The reason is I didn't get anything. There's no option, so I came here. That is the bad decision. Okay, even though it's there. There is no opportunity, nothing. That's why I joined doing master PhD. Even though it's your situation there, but once you are here, now you are a researcher. So forget that part. Okay, now you focus. Okay, you want to solve something. Okay, you want to do something, or you want to excel in some area, right? Make your concrete. Uh, what is it called? It's a okay. So make your plan. Okay, why you are doing research? Make yourself. This is the reason. Okay, it's you are going to finish, or you are going to accomplish, or solve something. Make a concrete plan. Okay. So that's good. Your response is not too off. Okay, it's good. All right. So for any research, we're talking about the motivation and goals. Okay. Have you ever thought this way? Let's say you were a PhD student. Normally, it takes about 5 years is normal. In some cases, maybe it's a 4 year or 3 year. Okay. So have you thought about what do you want to be in this timeline after 5 years? Okay. Maybe she wants to be a professor, or somebody wants to be a postdoc. Did you say postdoc?
Yeah, postdoctoral researcher.
Okay. Okay. Postdoctoral researcher. Anyone else? Okay. So if you haven't thought it, okay, plan that, because that's what guides you, the goal. What do you want to be in after 5 years, after you graduate from here? Expert in certain area, or you excel something, you will be expert in certain program or instrument, equipment, whatever it is, right? Don't you need that? Okay. So what is your the long-term goal? 5 years. But that's the long term. But to reach at that level, don't you need to do the small little things, the groundwork? So what are those? Especially before you reach the 5 year goal, what is your shortcut? 1 semester, 2 semester, 1 year, 2 year, like that. So something you guys can share with us. You write there and take a few moments. Just write down. What is your semester? If you are a beginner, just starting this semester, what is your goal in this semester? If you are probably the first year, then go to the what is it in the next 1 or 2 years? What do you want to be? And then 4 to 5 years. If you combine all these 4 or 5, maybe you will have something. Okay. Maybe this first for the semester, maybe you want to have a best grade and have an A plus. If you are just starting, having started the research. Okay, so I wanted to hear who is very enthusiastic here and would like to share their goals. Is anyone? Okay, I want to do something in this year, and another 2 years I'll be here or do something, and in next 4 or 5 years I will be here. Somebody can share. Anybody? Anyone?
I can share mine. Because I
Okay,
have
so-
one more semester left. I'll be.
Can you introduce me? Who you are, what you're doing?
Hello, my name is Sheikh Saudi. I'm a PhD student. This is the next semester will be my last semester, hopefully. And my major the major is general engineering department. The concentration is biology. So right now, because the next semester will be my last one. So right now my goal is to finish the manuscripts conducting my research previously as soon as possible and publish it, and also to execute my final project and find out a concrete solution to get my degree program.
Okay, so that's your kind of talking 4 to 5 years,
Yeah.
right? Okay, good. Thank you. I think for a researcher, he mentioned that he published a paper. I think that's a solid goal. Okay. For a graduate researcher, I think publishing a paper, that should be your. I don't know if it's a number 1 or 2 or number 4 goal, but it needs to be one of the goals. Publishing paper. So that could be in your first 1 or 2 years, or it could be in the 4 to 5 years. Publishing paper. That's good. What else? Any other? Okay, good. So I will read from your note then. Okay. what is your short-term and long-term goal? So as a researcher, the emphasis here is always make the plan like this. Okay? What do you want to do in this semester, next semester, and then a year? Somebody would say, I will finish the project. I will present this thing. I will go to a conference. Okay, and I will write a book chapter. I will do a review paper like that. Okay, and then within 4 to 5 years, I will defend my dissertation or thesis in front of committee. Like that. Okay. That helps you track your set up your always motivates you and then refines your goal too. Okay, so the response, I think that's what the most common is. Read the very bottom one. Okay. The key word is your goals for short term or long term. It needs to be measurable. Okay, it's not just like a very abstract thing. I will excel in research. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, make a concrete goal. Okay, I will excel, but how would you measure that thing? Publishing a first paper. Okay, writing a review article or something. Okay. Okay, so you have your plan, you have your goal. How do you track your progress? That's a important as a researcher to track your progress. How would you do? How you normally do these things? Maybe the senior researcher like you or anyone else, third, fourth year researcher. How do you measure your progress? Okay. Any thoughts? No? Can you just write down something? It's in the next page. How do you track this? $12.30. Okay. How would you track your progress? If you publish paper, you will count the paper, right? What else?
So, do your research, you should have goals, you should have objectives. First check objectives, measure your progress.
Okay, so yeah, so I think that in general, I encourage every researcher here is start on making a live CV. Okay, so that's all what motivates you. So I think live CV means these days is the social media you use, or the best thing would be you use your LinkedIn profile, or make a CV make your own website. Okay. It's not like old days. I was completely unaware of these things. I was not. Still, I do not know much in a computer, but it's a lot of resources are free these days. Why did you make your own page? Free. Just show few sentences. You're a first year researcher doing this research in this area. Something. Okay. Stop. And then populate the information as when you move along, you get more information. You write that. Like you publish your first paper. Don't you think you post your first paper in your page? I think to make your progress effective for a graduate researcher to have a web or the live CV, it's very good idea. Keep this. Is that your response would be, or something else? What would you do differently rather than making your profile in online, in the internet versus? There may be plenty of other domains, other areas you can advertise yourself, but probably the LinkedIn is I think it's the best one. Okay. Time management. I think that in any level of your study, education, this is critical factor, time management. But in a graduate researcher, it's a very demanding, right? Or you haven't felt that way yet. What is your advisor expects from you? He gives the paper today and asks a review for next day, or gives another paper in next week, and asks for the meeting and asks for to go class, do something, and execute something in the lab. Always you get these kind of things, right? Sometimes confuses you. That's normal. This is very normal. So you should be good to deal this kind of thing, multitask. Okay. So, but you. But what you need to be very careful is, remember you had a set of goals, a short-term, long-term goals. So whenever you're dealing with this thing, you always prioritize because you want to achieve certain things in this semester. So how would you manage your time is, okay, you prioritize. What is your goal you want to achieve in this semester? Then based on the priority, you manage your time. Even though you get a multiple requests from your PI, you need to be smart and then plan those things. Okay, and asking or demand from your advisor, sometimes weird demand, but it's normal in graduate school. So prioritize based on your goal, how you define your long-term, short-term goals. Okay, that's advice. Yeah, pretty much same thing. Okay, so I will leave maybe this the last topic today. Okay, another important thing in graduate school: dealing with people. Do you think it's important or not? Less important. If you are a researcher and you need to get help from other people, who are those other people? Advisor, obviously advisor, and sometimes advisors, collaborators, sometimes other graduate students, right? Yeah, you need to deal these things. And I don't know how many of you are working with undergrad, mentoring undergrad. If you're not doing now, you will do. Okay, so mentoring, maybe your juniors. teaching them the protocol or whatever it is in the lab. So dealing with people, it's also important factor in graduate research. Okay, because the nowadays research is not just a one person's thing inside one room. Okay, it's very interdisciplinary, and people, you need to deal with the various background, okay, various level of academic levels, etc. So I think dealing people it's a very important. The one thing you need to get something from someone. Let's say you want to get some help from a professor from your department. The professor is what is 30, 40 years of experience professor. Professor might have wealth of knowledge there. And you want to get something from professor. How would you do that? Sometimes graduate students think this is professor's job. He's here to teach. So he should be available all the time to help us. We are students. Okay, that maybe works in an undergraduate classroom or some graduate classroom instructor. It will help. But in a researcher field, in a researcher, it's not going to work. Because you want to get knowledge from that experienced person, you better go to him. Don't expect he will come and show you up. Okay? So the motivation, I think the dealing with people is, I think that's the golden rule all the time, right? How you to avoid the situation like treat others as you would have been treated in the same situation. I think it will not give you a trouble if you deal with people like this. Okay. All right. I think there are a lot of thoughts here, but we'll stop here for next session, next update. I will start from this topic. So the handout you have, keep with you, and I will collect the next question. Okay? Don't lose it. So don't leave yet, guys. Okay? So the last announcement. You're going to be here in order to. So, you have to start doing this. So